Hello, friends. My name is Andrada, and I'm a Romanian illustrator. Welcome to my first voiceover ever. I'm not gonna lie, I feel kind of awkward doing this, but also excited to try doing a voiceover. Until now, I've been writing text for my videos, and it's quite time consuming, so I thought that maybe doing a voiceover would take less time. I also have written down some ideas so that I won't get too rambly as I tend to do when I'm nervous. First of all, I wanted to tell you why I've been absent here on YouTube for a few weeks. Besides dealing with some physical health issue and taking some much needed time off to visit my brother for a few days, which has been a lot of fun, I've also been dealing with a horrible burnout. It's been building up since the beginning of the year, actually, and it finally got to the point of me not being able to make art. At the beginning of 2021, I set my art goals like I always do at the beginning of a new year, and the main one was to let myself explore more styles, directions, themes, and art mediums. 2020 has ended with me feeling quite unfocused. I couldn't settle on what I wanted to do, so I wanted to give myself permission to try new things. Then my personal life interfered. I moved back to my hometown with my husband, which was a very good decision, but also very stressful. It interrupted my flow, and I started feeling less and less confident in my goals. It felt like I had too many options and not enough time, because frankly, I'm also a very poor time manager, so I became less consistent, which doesn't sit well with social media. Everybody knows by now that consistency is key. While I agree that I have to be consistent in my work life to be able to achieve my goals, somehow it got to this idea that consistency means posting every day on the various social media apps that we use to get more followers and more views and all that, which to me is quite exhausting. I don't ever feel energized after closing Instagram, for example. I never feel more motivated or fulfilled. It feels like it's just something I do. It does feel nice to share my work with other people, to share my excitement about what I made, and seeing other artists doing so well too, but that's kind of it. I haven't been making a lot of art, so I had less stuff to post on Instagram. Meanwhile, the algorithm kept changing and the functions and perks of the app became even more time consuming, and everybody seemed to do just fine while I felt like I was running around like a headless chicken just to please this app. I didn't even try Reels, the Reels function yet, and it still feels quite overwhelming. Being the workaholic that I am, I turned Instagram posting into a boss in my head that I had to present my work to every day without fail or I'll be fired. And I didn't want to feel like a prisoner. I think that social media should be fun, not work. It should be something I do on the side, not invest a good chunk of my time every day to just be left feeling like a failure. Even though I know it's quite useful for a small business, it's useful as a tool for a small business to progress. I think that it should be less time consuming and less hard work to reach people. That's why I forcibly took a break to reflect. I'm still reflecting on how I should do things from now on. I won't quit Instagram, even though I sometimes want to, but I found really good friends there, and I'm happy to be part of a community of artists. I am also really grateful for everyone who's been following me there and also here. I haven't been to an art school, and I don't know a lot of people who are pursuing this as a career, so it feels nice and less lonely to share my art with anyone. But I definitely need to and want to change my relationship with social media itself. I don't want to feel like a prisoner. So yeah, that's how I've been feeling lately, and I hope you don't mind me sharing these thoughts and reflections with you through my art videos. Also, please feel free to share your own thoughts in the comment section if you want. I am really always happy to hear from you. On a more positive note, I really wanted to share a bit about this illustration that I've actually done in April, I guess. Around that time, I've become quite fascinated with herbs, and one of my favorite is rosemary. I really love rosemary. I use it in the kitchen to season food, especially steaks, but my absolute favorite way to use it is in bread. I found the recipe of bread with rosemary and honey, and it's just simply divine. So if you're a baker, please try it. I used fresh rosemary, so if you want to use fresh rosemary, to use a small amount because it's quite intense, but the bread is amazing, especially with butter and jam. Rosemary also has a lot of other properties, but I'm going to focus on the more magical ones. Rosemary means dew of the sea, and that's why I'm painting some seawater drops around it. The star governing this herb is the sun, and its natural element is fire. Therefore, I painted the sun in the background. A deity associated with rosemary is Venus, goddess of femininity, hence the plus sign under the sun as representation. Also, Virgin Mary is associated with rosemary. It translates into the Rose of Mary. So I drew 12 stars around the sun because it is said that in the book of the Apocalypse, Mary is portrayed as a woman dressed with the sun, having a moon under her feet and wearing a 12 stars crown over her head. And I was quite fascinated with that image. Other deities associated with rosemary are fairies. Rosemary is also used in witchcraft for purification and protection, same as sage. It's also used for mental clarity and ability. The Romans used to wear it on them, especially in their hair, at exams and when they needed good judgment, or under their pillows to protect them from nightmares and evil spirits. Brides would wear it at their weddings to seem more attractive and feminine, and wives would hang it by the door to keep their husbands home and faithful. Besides, rosemary is a symbol of good health and can be used for good blood circulation and for relieving aches and pains. I will leave some links down below in the description box for more information regarding this herb. I really love making this illustration and learning about rosemary. Hopefully you've learned something interesting too. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. Also, please excuse the awkwardness of this voiceover. It's the first one I make. Hopefully I will get better at this in the future. Until next time, have a really, really wonderful week and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.